More things to do with rocks. Woohoo! Headed into Astorga this morning. Sun behind us. Welcome sight. We bounce down this hill. It's nicely paved. You can hear dogs and chickens in the background. And we've definitely hit different territory because we have trees, and those rolling hills in a distance are what we're going to be walking up tomorrow. All right, Michael, are you standing beside? Historic bridge we're walking over here. On the outskirts of town, little farmsteads here. And of course, there's the yellow arrow ahead of us that we're following. And we're most likely headed to that old cathedral. Because of all the high-speed trains in the area, there's no way you can cross railroad tracks here. So they built this contraption for bikes and pedestrians, and because that's the high-speed rail down below. And then again, probably where we're headed is one of those two old churches in the distance. There's someone biking up here right now. Bet you that's going to be fun going down the other side. Hola, buenos dias. Ooh.
Only go 60.
There we go.
100.
You can only go 100 in this area. Oh yeah, sure enough. There's a sign down there Michael's noticing that says they're only allowed to go, you can see it, 100, 105 in this area. That'd be kilometers. So 60 kilometers an hour in town.
60 miles.
I mean 60 miles an hour in town. And some of the old buildings along the edge. It's a nice view of the city. This is Astorga. We'll be going through Astorga today, another 14 kilometers after this. This is home of Marigato, a group of people, red-haired Iberians that settled in this area, so they have some new food, and we actually got some good cheese from them in Leon. This blue cheese and this pesto cheese, a little different than the normal manchego, which is also really good. What are we looking at here?
This is a well-preserved Roman house that was built. There's signs here that give me all the information. The first half of the middle of the 1st century, inhabited until the middle of the 4th century. So approximately inhabited 300 years.
So someone lived in it for years, and then it's still here a long time since.
There's some kind of sewer system.
A heating system with hot and cold water to heat the floors with. And this is cool. If I can zoom in. It's a mosaic. I said the central figure was probably for Orpheus, because there's bears and what was the other one they said? Something over here. Bears and birds. And supposedly in the middle, Orpheus would be there, but it had been scratched out, it's been lost. Playing his lyre, which would be a gift from Apollo. The idea is the myth has transcendental meaning because the lyre would represent the soul and the animal is the body as well. This being included in somebody's house meant the owner had spiritual concerns as well. And it's fascinating, we're below a building. This is where the old church is then, right? On top of the hill, right? And this is an excavation happening and preserved with glass over top. So maybe it's already been excavated, but they make it available for the public to see. Pretty cool. Okay, so this is a Gaudi palace, and I was telling Michael, I said, well, it's not new. It's like built in 1889. Started in 1989 and finished in 1894, but compared to that building, this one is actually new. Thanks for the correction, Michael. Let's go look at that church. It's really the only way we can get a good picture of this place is by taking a video, because they're so huge and they just pop out of nowhere in the middle of town. So you can't back up far enough to see it. So much detail.
Time for math.
Okay, we're just going to start way up there because it's hard to determine where to start in the architecture here. You can see those are buttresses, right?
Yeah.
Sticking out to the side. This building has been added onto through the centuries.
Yeah, the first tower, which is on the left part, is Romanesque. Small windows, walls.
Perfect. And then, bet you that stained glass up there is beautiful.
And they modified this part.
Can you tell they modified it?
Well, because it's not Romanesque anymore. It's all the frilly stuff. That's really late Gothic. Someone redid the entrance to this church.
So much
and
handwork.
There's some style that I can't remember what that's called for the late Gothic period.
So much handwork. So much handwork.
One solid piece of limestone for all these pillars.
Wow. Wow. So much handiwork. Coming into town here today. Whew, it's a little windy up here. You can see the trees behind us. We just kind of came up a little bit of a hill here, and trees ahead of us. Definitely a different landscape than we've been in. Some rolling hills, and we've arrived into Santa Catalina de Somoza, not Somoza. But like I said, it's a little windy. Some cyclists out for a ride, and we see the church in the distance, and it too has a stork nest on it. Let's see if I can zoom in. Look at that stork nest! I'm so curious when here in May you can see storks in them. It's really funny when I asked somebody what it was, and they said it's the bird that brings the babies. But oh, it's a stork. Oh, more cyclists, local cyclists. They don't have big panniers on them. Nice little dice, that's fun. Ooh, a whole bunch of them. And we came from before Astorga, but we took a little break in Astorga, had some chocolate there. And El Ganzo, where we were going to go to, but there's this really cute vegetarian hostel here that we're excited to go see. So that's in Santa Catalina. Rock walls, as far as we can see. nice little top they put on it there. And often when we get into small villages, there's a place that talks about breakfast or a place for pilgrims or something. We're probably their main business walking through here. Here's an example of one up here, right across from the old church. Ice cream, rooms, lunch, snacks, Zumo juice. This is gonna be fun. Brightly colored, old building we get to stay in tonight, called La Bohéme. It's gonna be our albergue tonight, recommended by our last albergue as well. It's just the cutest little town. Brand new road put in. And there's this house that has the beams all fallen in on it. But there's like everyone doing these little upgrades here. It's so cool. Such a cute place. So the albergue we're staying in probably looked like that one that we had, that we just looked at. He said he's been working on it for the last few years. And a little bit of a renaissance going on. These old buildings here, especially with the new road that just got put in. And holy rocks! Y'all rock just for watching this video because they're pretty unprofessional. But they're cool sights. Look at that. This is so cool. We should call this town Rock Town instead.